The night feels like a silent theater, the lights dimmed low enough that you can hear the faint hum of your own heartbeat. You think you are merely an observer, but the truth is far more unsettling. You are the rider on a coaster that never stops moving. Its tracks forged from the very emotions you try to control. It begins with a whisper, a promise that something new is about to happen. The first surge is excitement, bright as a sunrise, flooding the veins with dopamine. In that moment, you feel invincible, as if the world has opened a secret door just for you. The mind, ever hungry for reward, latches onto that feeling, storing it like a treasured relic. You chase it, not because you understand why, but because the brain has already marked the experience as essential for survival. Then the track tilts, and the wind shifts. The same circuitry that delivered pleasure now flips the switch to fear. A sudden drop, a stomach-turning plunge, and cortisol spikes like a warning siren. The body reacts with the same intensity, muscles tensing, eyes widening. This is the darkness of the roller coaster, the part that makes you question whether the thrill was worth the terror. Yet hidden beneath that fear is a perverse satisfaction, a reminder that you are still alive, that you have not become numb. Psychologists call this the effect ripple. Each high creates a wave that crashes into the next low, and the brain, desperate to regain equilibrium, pushes you toward the next high. It is a loop of reinforcement, a subtle manipulation that keeps you glued to the ride. The more you ride, the more your nervous system rewires itself, turning the ordinary into a series of peaks and valleys that feel like the only way to feel anything at all. Consider the story of Mara, a young executive who chased success as if it were a drug. Her mornings began with a rush of ambition, the taste of coffee mingling with the sharp scent of opportunity. By noon, the pressure built, and a knot formed in her chest. She would push through, ignoring the warning signs, because the next promotion, the next applause, promised an even greater surge. When the promotion finally arrived, the euphoria was intoxicating, but it faded quickly, leaving a hollow that only the next challenge could fill. Mara's life became a series of emotional spikes, each one more extreme than the last, until the very idea of calm felt like a betrayal of her own ambition. Mara's experience illustrates a deeper truth. The emotional roller coaster is not merely a series of random feelings. It is a carefully calibrated system, engineered by evolution to keep us alert, to push us toward growth, and in modern society, to feed the endless loop of consumption. The dopamine hit from a new notification, the anxiety of an unread email, the relief of a completed task, all are engineered stops on a track that never truly ends. But there is a darker side that most never acknowledge. The same mechanisms that drive us to chase success also make us vulnerable to manipulation. When a leader knows how to trigger that initial surge of hope, they can steer the crowd toward a collective high, only to plunge them into fear when the narrative shifts. Politicians, marketers, even friends can become conductors of the ride, pulling the levers that decide when the track climbs, and when it drops. Imagine a charismatic speaker on a dimly lit stage. He begins with a story of triumph, painting a vivid picture of a future where everything is possible. The audience feels the lift, the collective breath rising in unison. Then he whispers about a looming threat, a crisis that only he can solve. The room contracts. The same nervous system that welcomed hope now tightens with dread. The crowd is primed, ready to follow, because the emotional swing has already set the stage for obedience. The unsettling part is how seamlessly the brain accepts this manipulation. It does not differentiate between a genuine personal triumph and a manufactured high. The limbic system, the ancient part of the brain that governs emotion, reacts to the intensity of the feeling, not its source. This is why cults, extremist groups, and even viral trends can capture millions. They simply master the rhythm of the coaster. Yet within this darkness lies a quiet rebellion. The very awareness of the ride can become a lever of control. When you notice the tilt before it happens, when you recognize the dopamine surge as a signal rather than a command, you begin to step off the tracks. Mindfulness in its simplest form is the brake lever. It does not erase the emotions, but it grants you the space to observe them, to decide whether to stay on the coaster or to walk away. The final loop of this story is not about escaping the roller coaster entirely. That would be an illusion, for emotions are the language of our humanity. It is about learning the pattern, understanding that each high is followed by a low, and that the most dangerous rides are those we ride without consent. So the next time you feel that sudden rush, pause. Feel the wind on your face, listen to the click of the tracks, and ask yourself, Am I choosing this thrill, or am I being pulled along? In that moment of reflection, the coaster slows, and you glimpse the quiet tracks hidden beneath the noise. The darkness of the ride remains, but you now hold the map, and perhaps, for the first time, you can decide where the next turn leads.